My name is Taylor, welcome back to my channel, and today we are doing a very fun video here on my channel. It is the end of June, which means we are going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag here. That is a very popular video on BookTube. This is my first time filming the tag and I'm very excited. I was going through all the books that I've read thus far this year. I've read 35 books, I think, up to this point. And there's been some really good ones, there's been some really garbage ones. So my reading year thus far has been kind of a lot of highs and lows, but we'll get into it. We'll talk about it. It's gonna be good. So starting off, the first question in this tag is, what is the best book you've read this year so far? And I have, of course, have to mention the Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins. I did a whole reading vlog rereading these. I'm obsessed with these books. They're so good. They hold up so well. And I just enjoyed reading these immensely. It's just such a great, amazing world that she's built, and I loved going back to it. So without a doubt, these are at the very, very top of the list. Quick honorable mention for that category as well is The Boy at the Top of the Mountain by John Boyne. This is the author of the Boy in the Striped Pajamas, and this book destroyed me. It is such an intense book. If you've read or know anything about The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, you can kind of sense the vibe of this, but this essentially follows a boy named Parrot, and he essentially goes to live in Hitler's house. So you can imagine the things that go on there. It's so hard-hitting, it's so beautifully written, it just was amazing, so I had to obviously give this one an honorable mention as well. Next question is the best sequel you've read this year so far, and for that one I have to mention Come Tumbling Down by Seanan McGuire. This series in general is just fantastic. I'm obsessed with this entire series, and this just continues in this story that I'm so in love with. I dog-eared pages, as you can tell, of just sections that were just so incredible to me, and because it's a sequel, I really can't say too much about it, but this whole series is fantastic if you guys haven't checked it out. The next question is newest release that you've wanted to read but haven't gotten to yet, and for that one I have Again Again by E. Lockhart. I'm obsessed with anything E. Lockhart puts out, and I was so excited when I saw she was coming out with a new one this year. I really honestly don't know anything about it, which is kind of how I like to go into her books. They're usually very suspenseful and very interesting, and this one just seems like nothing else like she's written before, so I'm excited to get into it, but this is definitely top of the list for me. The next question is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and for that one, of course, I have to go with the new Twilight book. I know, but I'm so excited to read that book. I plan on doing a whole reading vlog reading the entire Twilight series and then reading the newest Midnight Sun. It's gonna be great, it's gonna be nostalgic, it's probably gonna be cringy, but I don't even care, so super ready for that. The next question is, what has been your biggest disappointment of the year so far? And I have actually a few for that one. The first one is Wild Cards by Simone Echols. This one was just, I don't know, I used to love Simone Echols writing, and her recent reads that I've gotten into are just super forgettable. They just don't match up to like the Perfect Chemistry trilogy at all, and this one was just not. I couldn't tell you a single thing that happened in this book. I don't remember it at all, and I was so desperately obsessed with the Perfect Chemistry series that this one has just completely left my memory. And the one I read from her that came out, I think this year or last year, there was another one she came out recently and it was just not good. So I still love her books, I'm still trash for them, but this was just not very good and very forgettable. The other most disappointing read that I have to mention in this video is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I did a whole reading vlog doing this one as well that I will have up on my channel for you guys to check out, but the more that I've been sitting with it, was just not what I wanted. It just made me so icked out and like just gave me the heebie-jeebies, and it's just not a book that I would want to revisit. There's not much else to say about this. There's plenty of other people that have much more eloquent reviews on this book, but if you guys have seen the reviews for this, or if you guys know people that have read it, overall the vibe is just not a good one, and so I've got to mark it off as well on my list. I just was hoping for so much more from this book, and it just left me very disappointed. Next question in the tag is your biggest surprise of the year, and for that one I have to mention Little Women by Louise May Alcott. I read this book in a book club with a few of my friends and we all really enjoyed it. I had read an abbreviated version of Little Women back, I think, in middle school, and was so obsessed with this story and this family, so reading the full unabridged edition was just great, and I so highly enjoyed it, especially reading it with friends. So obviously this is a classic. It's a chunker of a book, and I just was so shocked at how relatable it still is. I mean, I think this was written back in the 1800s, and so much of this we talked about in our book club was applicable to today, and I just thought it was great. So I'm normally not a huge classics reader, but this one is now definitely at the top of my list. Next question is your favorite new author. This can be either a debut author or new to you, and I have two options for this question. The first is Katherine Applegate, who wrote The Wish Tree. She also wrote Ivan the One and Only, and I think The One and Only Bob that came out this year, and I'm obsessed with her writing. She writes these wonderful, poignant, lyrical, middle grade stories that are just so beautiful and just so impactful, and I'm completely obsessed with anything that she's written. I just think they're so great. The Wish Tree in particular was one I've had my eye on for a really long time and read a few months ago, and I am just obsessed with it. So anything she writes in the future moving forward, I will read. The other one that I picked up recently that I was very obsessed with her writing of was The Wedding Date by Jasmine Gilroy. Gilroy? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but I read this and picked it up totally on a whim. I'd heard really good things about it, and I'm definitely trying to diversify my reading lately, and this was one that I'd wanted to pick up from that recommendation, or just thought process, as I should, and I really liked this. It was really cute, really quick read, and just something cute and fluffy to pick up and just sit through and read in a couple of days, and I definitely have picked up a couple more from her that I still need to get to, but Jasmine Gilroy, I'm obsessed, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing the name. Next question in this tag is your new fictional crush, and for that one I have to say Teddy in Little Women. He's just great. I'm obsessed with him, and he can do no wrong. I just love him so desperately, so obviously him. Going along with that, I also have to mention Joe from Little Women and Amy, because they're two of my absolute favorite characters that I've read this year. We all in the book club try to decide who we most related to, and I definitely feel like I'm an Amy-Joe combo, and maybe some Meg. I just am so obsessed with this whole entire family. So this book overall, highly recommend. The next question was a book that made you cry, and it takes a lot for me to cry while reading a book, and so nothing this far this year has actually made me physically cry, but emotionally cry. Break Your Glass Slippers by Amanda Lovelace. I read this after recently getting out of a relationship, a very long-term relationship, and this is about regaining your own identity and just being your own woman, and there were so many things in here that just spoke to my soul on a lot of levels. So emotionally, this book, really this whole series by Amanda Lovelace, I'm obsessed with. Completely and entirely obsessed with. The next question is a book that made you happy, and for that one I'm going to go with another Katherine Applegate, and this is The One and Only Ivan. I thought this book was precious. It's so hard-hitting but so adorable. The animals in this are so cute, especially the little elephant. I'm so obsessed. Her name is Ruby. She's a baby elephant, and this book was just so impactful for middle grade. I thought it was so beautifully written. It just spoke to my animal-loving soul, and it just made me smile and just be so touched. And again, Katherine Applegate, I'm obsessed. The second to last question is, what is the most beautiful book you've bought or received this year? And for that one, 100%, I have to go with Hurricane Season by Nicole Melby. This book is stunning. It's so pretty. I haven't read it. I haven't even cracked the cover. I don't even really honestly know what it's about, but I bought this purely because of how beautiful it is. It's stunning. I'm so obsessed. I can't wait to read it. It's a middle grade, but I don't even care. I just need this beautiful book on my covers. On my covers? On my shelves. On my red shelves. So there you go. And the last question of the mid-year book freakout tag is, what are books you still have left that you want to read this year? And, well, that's a long list, so I'm just going to do some honorable mentions. The first of which is The Gift of Forgiveness by Katherine Schwarzenegger Pratt. This is one I picked up at the beginning of the year. My mom's actually read this already and loved it. And I just think, given everything especially that's going on in the world, that this one would be just a really poignant, beautiful book to read. It's got stories of people telling their own experiences with forgiveness, and I just think it sounds beautiful. I'm also obsessed with the Pratt family on a number of levels, so I think this will be great. A few other quick honorable mentions is Crave by Tracy Wolff. I'm in a very vampire nostalgic mood, and I've heard this is a major Twilight throwback, so definitely gonna pick this one up soon. The other one is Together We Caught Fire by Eva B. Gibson. Again, a really quick, beautiful, kind of maybe hard-hitting contemporary that I think just sounded amazing. I believe that came out this year, or last year. Came out this year, so check it out if you haven't checked it out, because that makes sense. And last but not least, I was so obsessed with this book. I still haven't actually read anything by this author yet. I have her other book. It's up there somewhere. But I still picked this one up because I saw it in Barnes & Noble and had to buy it. And it is They Went Left by Monica Hesse. This is a World War II or post-World War II fictional story, historical fiction. And it sounds devastating and beautiful, and it's about a girl whose family went to the concentration camps, and she and her brother were the only two that survived. The rest of her family went left into the gas chambers, and they went right. And I think this is going to destroy me. So I'm not ready for it. I'm not prepared mentally, emotionally, but I think this is going to be amazing. So that is it, everyone. That is my question and answers for the mid-year book freakout tag. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know down in the comments below what books you are looking forward to in the second half of the year. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to see more of my face, and I'll see you guys in the next one.